Are we okay with her having this toy, or do we want her to have another toy?
I would like her to have another toy only because it's a cat toy and it doesn't really...
So let's give her something else first and try to see if we can find a way to get her to drop that and engage with you with something else. And it should be something equally fun.
Welcome back to Love the Dog Your Puppy Will Become, a video series for dog lovers who want to create the most amazing relationship with their dogs. I'm your host, Tracy Franken of Beyond Obedience, and this is episode 5.
Now, I have a question for you. One of the concerns, and I may have had a nightmare about this last night. She is a hunter. She's on scents. She knows where all the squirrels that we know where which trees the squirrels live in. She now knows. It took her a day to find them all.
Isn't that awesome?
My biggest fear is that if she were to get out, she would get a scent and go. And honestly, in this forest, we are literally surrounded by forest. When I hear dog barking or sounds, it's hard to tell where it's coming from. Like, I don't even know if I can find her. Like, that is one of my biggest fears with her, because she's like very eager to explore, and she gets on these scents, and she's so little too. Like, I don't know how I would find her.
Yeah. And that's a really good concern, and it's a good concern to have. And it's something that is the reality of any sort of hunting, high prey-driven dog. So that's why we're going to really focus on leadership, right? So leadership is that one piece that's going to make the dog go, oh, I have to come back to you, right? I want to come back to you, which is very important. But then there's also, oh, I have to come back to you. And that's where leadership comes in. That's also where consequences come in, and nobody likes to talk about consequences. It's the worst thing in the world to talk about. Like, as a dog trainer, we have to basically say, you just always feed your dog treats and they'll always do as they're told. That's not true. That's not true. So, your safety measures and your safety precautions are always going to be that she should always be with you and on a leash, right? And we talked about the idea of putting in a little yard for her. Yeah, we've been researching, and we do want to get a small dog run that goes off the side of the house, so she can have a safe place. So you have that security of knowing if you have to, like, just, oh my gosh, I got to throw her outside because I have an emergency, you know that she's not going to get out. And right down to the fact that they're diggers, they're low to the ground. So for us, like when we had our daycare, we buried the fence half a foot under.
Oh.
Right? So you put your chain link right into you have to dig a trough. And if that's not something that will break a marriage up.
You know, in Nova Scotia, it's all bedrock, and we had to dig a trough to get the power out to my husband's studio.
And you're still married, so.
We are still married. However, I'm not going to maybe mention that to him today, that we have to dig down again and put the fence in there.
Yeah. But it is something for your peace of mind, right? You just bury, half a foot of the chain link into the ground. And you have to check the perimeter all the time.
Every time.
When you go out there, you have to make sure she hasn't started digging, because they will. But it's for your own peace of mind for that reason. Any other time that she's out, you're going to have her on a leash.
Okay, now here's...
Do you know about my leadership scorecard?
Yes, you've shown that to me.
So every single time you do something, was that my idea? Or was it the dog's idea? Just start to be aware of it, right? Because the puppies gain so many points. Everything we do is because they wanted it, right? Yeah. They come over, they jump up, we pick them up, scored a point. Yeah. That's why when she was over here sitting, and I went like this, and she came over, I was like, yes, I scored a point. I got her to move her feet, right? But if she comes over and does her little cutesy dance, and I pick her up, she scored a point, right? So all of these things are all part of that leadership scorecard where you're going to, and everybody has their own leadership scorecard. So the work that you do does not reflect on how she's going to be around Noah or how she's going to be with Sean. Everybody has their own leadership scorecard.
Join us next week for another episode of Love the Dog Your Puppy Will Become. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode, and we will see you next week.
All right, so here we are, very serious.
Very serious, here we are. All right.
She just wants to sit by her. They sit